Hey, it's me, Q from Blerd, and I'm here to talk to you about my weekend at Superstar Comic Con. So as you can see, we arrived in Savannah fairly early. The load-in time was actually around like 6, or also you come the day before, but we got in here around 6:30, 6:45, around that time. And we got in as fast as we could so we can set up as fast as possible. As you can see, this is how the inside of the convention center looks. It's fairly a good size in my opinion. After we got our badges and located our booth, our first thing on our mind was to set up the booth as fast as possible. We only had around 2 hours to set this up, but unfortunately, we forgot our cube grids, and that really hindered us, and so we had to figure out a new way to set up our booth. After an hour and 30 minutes of rearranging everything, I would like to introduce you to my booth. So the crowd began around 10 and it was a decent size. It was not too big, but not too small. And in the beginning of the con, sales were okay, Sales were not as much as I would like it to be on day one, but there was a fair amount of customers coming to my booth, picking up my card and just seeing what I had there. And the con in general, there was so many things to see. I was actually very surprised about the amount of stuff that I saw at this convention. Like, look at that. You don't see that at cons, so I was really surprised to see stuff like this here. Speaking of amazing things to see there, next to my booth was a great booth named Sailor Shrimp, and oh my gosh, if you love sea creatures, they have everything here. Like, if you love just sea creature art, definitely go to Sailor Shrimp. It's ran by a wonderful person named Indy, as you can see right there. And now it's time for the day one wrap-up report. And to be honest, we didn't do as good as we thought we would. I had a goal in mind on how much I wanted to make that day, and I didn't make it at all. I mean, I got close, but I need to be on point, personally. And our best seller was, as always, our bento boxes, so that's always a good thing. But I had more people looking at my products rather than buying my products, and that kills me at times. But it'll be better, and I'll try harder next time. So that was day one, and as you can see, it didn't go as planned. But it's a learning experience, and as long as I do better next time, I'll be alright. Day 2. On the next day, we woke up around 7 and got to the convention center around 9:20 just to get set up a little early. As you can see from the convention, like, everyone was getting ready on day 2 to get set up. And I mean, looking around the convention center, I'm just surprised by all the amazing artists that I saw. Like, everyone was on their A game for this day 2, and likely so because this day was shorter than most conventions that I've ever been at. The con began at 11, and just like on day 1, there was a good amount of people already waiting in the front to come in. And this day was actually a lot better than on Saturday. Like, a lot of the people who said they would be back on Sunday actually came back on Sunday and got stuff. So I really do appreciate them from stopping by and liking my artwork enough to come back the following day just to pick it up. And one of the biggest surprises from this convention was that the voice actor of Ezra Bridger, Taylor Gray, came to my booth and actually spoke to me. And if y'all know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and Ezra Bridger is my second favorite Jedi of all time. And I was just overjoyed that someone that I am a big fan of actually came to my booth and talked to me. So that was like one of the biggest highlights of the convention. Speaking of amazing people at the convention, I ran into a booth of an amazing artist named CarryTube, and look at the artwork, amazing. The stickers were on point. I definitely had to cop some, and just awesome person in general, like good vibes. Definitely check CarryTube out if you haven't already. Like 10 out of 10, great artist. Then we get to Sai. Awesome, amazing Star Wars art. Like, if you want Star Wars or Into the Spider-Verse art, this is where you go. Like, definitely check Sai out, because Sai is amazing. So around 3:30 is when the convention got very slow and everyone started to pack up and go, which makes sense. There was not really any more customers anymore, which was fine. So I packed up, I got all my things ready, and I was out.
It's time for the con review.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the con review. And just to remind you, this is my opinion. Other people could have a better or worse experience at this convention, but this one is mine, so take it with a grain of salt. So we're going to start this with attendance. Attendance, I gave a B+ because each day people did show up, they did show out, but it wasn't packed. It's not like the GalaxyCon, you know, where GalaxyCon is like packed to the brim like sardines. This one was okay, it was fair. And for vendors and artists, I give an A+ because I saw stuff that I haven't seen at other conventions before. Like, look at this. I haven't seen that at a convention before, so it definitely gets an A+. Cosplayers get an A+ too because they showed out. Whoever wore that Doug Dimmadome cosplay and kept increasing the size of the hat throughout the con, finito, amazing. Like, you guys, it was like nothing that I've ever seen before at a convention. And to wrap it all up, sales was a C-, unfortunately. Like, it seemed more geared towards the cosplayers more than it got geared towards the vendors, especially with the hours that they gave us. So it just deserves a C- on sales on that convention. So overall, I give this convention a 4.7 out of 10. It's definitely a good con if you're just starting out in Artist Alley or vending, because it's not too expensive. You get a decent sized crowd and you're in Savannah, which is gorgeous. But for me personally, I didn't like the hours. Like, day 1 was 10 to 5, day 2 was 11 to 4. That's not a lot of hours, especially for artists who want to make a good amount of money at these conventions. Like, yeah, you can get some sales in within those time frames, but I'm used to conventions being like, oh, it's 10 to 8, you know, leaving at 5, it's still daylight outside. And I'm used to like going outside, oh, it's nighttime now, but that's me. Also, it was extremely cold in the convention center. Like, it was like everyone could get frostbite in the convention center, and that's something I just didn't like as well. And as I said earlier, there was a lot of lookers and not a lot of buyers, especially on day 1, and that drastically affected my sales. But as I said, it's a learning experience. So right now, I'll stick with giving this one a 4.7 out of 10. So if you made it this far into the video, I really do appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and if you like my content, watch my other videos, leave a like, and I'll catch you guys next time.